All right, what we're about to look at is Polecat Grand Prix. I want to just run through one lap of this race course and just give a little input after racing it in both the Masters and also the 1-2-3 race last year. This is Tyler Kenyon's Cat 3-4 video. It's going to be a little bit, there's some moisture on the road, so there are some, so seeing is a little bit difficult. But essentially, if you look at the course in the bottom right of the screen, start finish, it's going to be a net uphill. You got this hard right-hander. It does go uphill as you get to the corner, and then you got a kicker kind of through this sweeping bend. It flattens out briefly, and we'll see all this. But then you drop into a little downhill, and then into the steepest uphills is kind of this north side of the course. So here we are on the start-finish. I'm not going to trust this dot. So we're on the south side of the course here, heading west. And so here we go. Position is going to be key based on how things played out last year. Bigger the field, the more you want to be up front. Smaller the field, the more you can be closer to the middle or back, just because there's less distance. But you can see nothing super crazy here. The road goes up a little bit. But overall, this wasn't a super challenging section. If this course were to run the opposite direction, this would be a much harder course. This corner did pinch people. You were able to move up. You were able to move up on the outside, and then it goes uphill again right here. So you can't really tell too well from the video, but this is definitely a spike in power, and it carries up and around this corner. So now we're up. We're kind of in this section, if you can see my cursor. But we're up, going around this corner, it flattens out. You can see based on the people coasting up there. And this was a tight corner, especially with it wet. There was water running through it. And so this was a tighter corner because you're getting set up for this little uphill kick right here. This one's not too crazy, but a little spike here. And then we go downhill, and it looks like that dot on the screen or on the course finally works. You go downhill, fast little spin up into the uphill section. And if we kind of count the time out here, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, 1,005, 1,006, 1,007, 1,008, 9, 1,010, 1,011, 1,012, 1,013. That seemed to be about the case each time. So kind of that 12-ish second duration up that climb. Hard spike. It's a steep hill. You see it and it looks a lot worse than what it ends up being real time. Now, the spot that Tyler's in here is a good spot to be. So he's on the left side. I highly recommend being on the outside right here. I tried riding this on the inside, and it just wasn't as fast. And you end up having people around you. You can see he's moved up multiple spots here. In my race, I ended up moving, in the 1-2-3 race, I ended up moving up a massive amount and ended up making it to a break at one point just by going on the outside in that section. So it's a fast downhill. You're hitting, I think we're hitting 40-ish miles an hour, sometimes a little bit faster than that. This ends up being a tight turn here. You end up carrying a decent amount of speed, and that's one where people did clip pedals on that corner depending on the amount of speed you got going. So a little uphill that you had previously, now you got a fairly fast downhill once again. So decent undulations. If you look off to the left there, you can kind of see how the course is moving up and down. This right here, tightish right-hander, just because you go from right to left, and then you're into another little uphill kick as you come around this corner. So this is one where I found outside was a little bit better in general, because it was allowing me to carry that little bit more speed and not have to hit my brakes. But that's one where if you're too far back, you're going to end up brake checking through that corner most likely. And again, just sort of rolling terrain through here. This is a spot where you want to start getting more towards the front. Actually, I had to be towards the front even before this, because you got this downhill. This ended up being what I thought was one of the harder corners here. So you got a downhill, and then we got a turn that kind of comes back on itself. So you feel like you're going to exit, and then you got to stay on it that little bit longer. So that just ended up being a corner that a lot of folks were getting wrong. Everyone did it well on this time through, but that was one that people ended up getting wrong. So you had that fast little downhill, and now we're into a flat section right here. Wind obviously is going to make a difference on this. And then from about this spot, you can see up in the distance, it's sort of a net uphill, and it ends up being kind of this long drag to the finish line. So you can see you're able to see this gap or this finish line for quite some time, and it's easy to go a hair too early on that. This was the steepest section of the start finish, so you go past the start finish line, and there was the little kick. Flattens off a little bit, and then again it kicks up near the top of this, and then you've got that right hander, and it kicks up after you take this right. So overall, I mean, we can watch this one more time, but overall, the way I'm playing it out now that we've walked through it all is I want to make sure any pinch points I'm closer to the front than the back, because pinch points are slowdowns. If folks aren't taking this all the way to the left side, you're just fine riding this corner 1 on the outside. Being a draft through here, this is an uphill section. I would also make sure you're not smashing some big old gear, especially early on. So spin a little bit more than mashing early on, but just know this is going to be a spike. Hold position here. Don't go losing spots. You want to make sure in the fast down to up that's going to be coming up. So you had the spike. You can see people are coasting. So this is a recovery. It's very much a spike recovery kind of course. Now folks are back on the gas. You can see them pedaling. So another uphill section right here. It's getting blurry. So this is the little uphill. Again, bit of a spike in power. And then we've got this fast downhill into the uphill. This is where you want to be in a spot where you're not having to hit brakes. I went both directions on this. I went right side and I went left side. I think you're fine going either way. The bigger thing here is right side. There's a greater chance of having folks come in on you, like it's going to happen here, it looks like. So you can see how he had to slow down there and then sort of reaccelerate. That's the top of the climb. And so if you're able to carry speed over the top, this ends up being a fast, like if you're getting gapped on this is a fast strung out. You can see how strung out this field is. Fast downhill section. He's going to take outside again, it appears. And let's just see, does he make up spots or does he lose them? You can see he's making up spots. He just passed 3 folks by taking the outside. So I encourage you to take the outside line there after that downhill fast section. And then this is the uphill. This is one where you can carry speed. It's not going to be a big match to put a few pedal strokes in. In the Masters race, this is actually where I got away. I ended up going solo right there because the people at the front sort of got reshuffled, and I carried speed and just went over the top. Again, this is that tight, you can see where he stopped pedaling. This is that tight left-hander, but now you're back into this downhill. So if you're a spike recover kind of rider, this course is going to suit you well. And this is the spot where I would pedal a few more times and improve my position because I liked going through this right to left right here where you could take the whole road. So you take the inside on that right-hand turn, you come straight to the inside on this left-hand turn, you keep hugging the left side here. If you're near the front, you're carrying speed, you're not having to let off the gas. You can see there's a pinch point on that right side a little bit there. But if you're further up, you're not having to deal with that pinching that's happening. And preventing the yo-yo is kind of a big key to this these flowing turns that end up having good tangents. So you have good straight lines between corners. And if you're too far back, you can't take advantage of that. And now we're in that downhill fast little spot here. This is one that people got wrong in both races I did, the 1, 2, 3 and the Masters. Some people rode it well, some people did not. And some people were able to get through that corner and get on the gas quickly. And let's just count, after we take this left-hand bend here, I'm just going to count how long it is, not on a sprint lap, to the finish line. So as you come out of this corner, we got 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, 1,005, 1,006, 1,007, 1,008, 1,009, 1,010, 1,011, 1,012, 1,013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 seconds. So 20 seconds. So it's going to be a little shorter than that, at speed, final lap. But it's a pretty decent haul. It's one of those where some people are probably going to get it wrong and blow up. I was way too far back last year. It just didn't really improve position. So 20th wheel is way too far back. Third wheel is way too far forward. I'd probably be closer to fifth wheel or so, fifth, sixth wheel, as you come out of that last little bend. All right, we don't need to keep going through this whole thing. You can find his video just by searching. I just put in Polecat bike race, and a bunch of videos popped up. So, all right, that's all I got. Peace.